Welcome, viewers. Good afternoon. Good to have you once again in the video. So please, I'm sure that you have your writing material with you. Ensure that they are well placed so that you can take notes and follow us up on what we're doing. I want to believe that as you have known, after this video, I will expect you to go check up questions based on what we have learned and ensure that you answer them perfectly well. Please ensure you take a good note on this. God bless you. So today we are looking at another video, another topic, sorry, that is titled Partnership in our studies in commerce. So today we're looking at partnership as one of the business organizations consideration in the subject commerce. All right, so today we'll consider this aspect as our expected outcome in the video that we're going to be going to right now. So today we'll define partnership as it is in commerce. We'll define partnership, then we explain the basic features of partnership. We explain the types of partnership, state the various type of partners, and then define partnership deed, and then explain the various sources of funds for partnership business, and they state the advantages and disadvantages of partnership business. So let's look at them one at a time. So what is a partnership? A partnership business is a type of business organization owned and managed by 2 or more persons, basically 2 to 20 persons, right, who agree to join their resources to establish a business and run it for profit purposes. Okay. Now, in the case of a banking business, we have an average of 2 to 10 persons who can form a partnership. But in general, we have 2 to 20. Right? General partnership in many other business cannot exceed 20. But in the case of a banking business or banking institution, you have just 2 to 10 maximum to be able to own a banking business under partnership arrangement. So yes, a partnership is that business type that organizes, that has a membership of 2 to 20 persons who have agreed to join their resources together to establish and run a business for purpose of profit making. Taking that, okay, see, this is just an image to show you that in this picture you can see one is bringing ideas. The one on the screen, the left side of your screen, is bringing ideas. You can see it's very invisible, but you can see there's something that he's bringing to the table, while the one on your right hand side is bringing tangible assets, okay, capital or many other things. So that's together they can form a large business empire, as you can see behind the picture. So yes, these ideas and physical assets being provided to form a unit of business is referred to as partnership, 2 persons or more. So this is another kind of partnership that involves 2 telecom giants. Okay, so you can see them, they have something in common to achieve. So they are forming a partnership to achieve something that is very important in their own eyes. So the list here is the basic features of a partnership. What makes it a partnership business? When you see these features, you know that it relates to a business called partnership. So number 1 is ownership. Then we have objectives, source of capital, okay, and then legal liabilities, sorry. Then we have lifespan, legal entity, and the management. So these are actually explained a little bit further. Okay, so let's take one at a time. So a partnership business ownership, like we said earlier on, is owned by 2 to 20 persons in general partnership, and then 2 to 10 for banking establishment. Their objective is to create value and make a profit. All right, they are to create value and to supply value and make a profit, of course. So if you don't supply value, you cannot make a profit in the business. So when you supply value to demand, then you make a profit. So source of capital includes areas such as retained profit, partners' contribution, partners' fees, all right, subsidies, loan from friends and families, loan from bank, overdraft, trade credit, and so on. All right, those are various aspects of through which they can raise funds for their business. They have liabilities in a partnership business. Their liabilities are generally unlimited. That is, debt of the business can be paid using resources outside the asset of the business when they cannot pay up from the assets of the business. So they can actually go beyond the asset of the business to raise funds to settle debt at the end of the business or the liquidation of the business. So it means that they have unlimited liability. In this case, owners' private properties can be sold off or used to settle debt whereby the asset of the business cannot be used or it's not enough to settle existing debt at closure of the business. They have lifespan. They don't have perpetual lifespan. Of course, the business can shut down quickly. As far as any partner exits the business, it's most likely to shut down. All right. Any partner goes insane, they can shut down the business. If one decide to withdraw, they can just decide to shut down. So a lot of things can bring the liquidation of the business, meaning they have a short lifespan. They don't have, but when you compare to a sole proprietorship business, it has a longer lifespan than a sole proprietorship business. So yes, but if compared to other sort of business, kind of business, it's a shorter lifespan because it's still unlimited. It's not a legal entity yet, all right? So like we said, a legal entity is not a legal entity because the business is still the same, the owner, all right? The owners of business are actually personally attached to the business. So individuals put together are the business. So it's not different from the owner. So if you see the business, you have seen the owners. See the owners, you have seen the business. So that's how it runs. So they are not separated from the owners yet. Of course, they are still unlimited in liability. Then you have management. Partners, general partners are always part of the management, active members of the business who run the business on daily basis. Members partake in the management of the business. All right, especially general partners. All right, or you can call them active partners who engage in managing the business on daily basis. That's how it is. So they don't have any separate, except they have managing partner, which is, of course, can happen. They can just appoint a managing partner. Okay, manage it for us. Of course, that one is also an active partner. So active partners are the ones that run the business on daily basis. So all general partners are assumed are known to be managers of the business. So I have two types of partnership business that exist. I have two types of partnership business that exist. Number one is limited partnership, and we have general or ordinary partnership. These are the two major types of businesses that we have in partnership existence. So let's look at them one at a time. A limited partnership is a business structure where at least one general partner, manages the company with unlimited liability, while one or more limited partners contribute capital and have liability restricted to their investment, of course. So in this case, wherever you have limited liability partnerships existing, there must be at least one general partner that can take up the unlimited liability concept, all right, of the business. Because partnership is not entirely a legal entity, so it must have unlimited liability. So on that basis, there must be at least one general partner who will stand as the active partner there, all right, to manage the business and assume the personal liability of the business, all right, if it closes abruptly or unexpectedly. So he will bear the burden of the liabilities and carry it upon himself or herself. So yes, that's limited liability partner. All right, so then we have general partner or ordinary partnership. So a general partnership is a business structure in which two or more individuals jointly manage and operate a company while sharing profits, liabilities, and decision-making responsibilities. So in this case, if you have two or more, those two or more persons are liable or responsible for managing the business on daily basis. They are known as active partners because they are involved in active running of the business, daily activities. So yes, That's what. So it's a business where members of the partnership assume responsibilities to manage the company while they share profits, liabilities, and decision making as well together. So we have general partner. The general partner will have personal liability for the firm's debts and liabilities, all right? Then unlike corporations, annual general meetings are not mandatory. So in partnership, there's nothing like annual general meeting. It's not there, all right? Why the limited partnership aspect? At least one partner has to be an unlimited liability holder. The other partners may have limited liability. So for limited liability, partners' personal assets can't be used to resolve debts. All right, they can't be used to resolve debt because they have a protection with the terminology limited liability. So let's look at the partners. In any existing partnership, whether it is a limited partnership or general partnership, okay, we find this type of partners in it. The following are seen as the types of partnership or partners in a partnership business that we have. Number one is a sleeping partner. Who do we call a sleeping partner? A sleeping partner is someone who invests in the business but does not take part in the daily operation of the business or decision making. He's not in any way a partaker of how the business runs. All is to bring his money, all right, and only take profit when necessary. So his sleeping partner, his money is working for him in that business, but he's not much known about in the business about as part of those who owns it, but he's there, all right? Nominal partner, these are people who lend their names to a business without contributing capital or managing the business. So these people's name creates goodwill for the business. When they attach themselves to the partnership business, the business can sell so much or prosper because of the name they have on it. So celebrities and high-end achievers can be used as for this purpose. Okay, so imagine, okay, like a football club, a new football club in Nigeria, maybe a football academy in Nigeria, who advertises JJ Okocha as part of their patrons, all right, part owners, all right. You assume that that club should have a sense of belonging, that should have a degree of quality, all right, because they have JJ Okocha in it. So that kind of a person can be called a nominal partner because his name is giving credit to that football club, all right. So yeah, that's what it is. Then general partner is another one. Actively manages the business and has unlimited liability for its debt. So in this case, general partners are partners who are actively running the business, okay, and they carry unlimited liability for the business debts on their shoulders. They are the ones that will be called upon whenever the business collapses and is owing debts. They are the ones that will settle the debts, and if they can't be settled, they can use their personal properties to pay for the debts. So that's what they are called, general partners. Okay, active partners in this case are those who are directly, in fact, general partners can sometimes be called, general partners are known as what? Active partners, but not all active partners are general partners. You understand that? Not all active partners are general partners, but all general partners are what? Active partners. I don't know if it's clear. Now we'll look at it, we'll see it later. I'll go down and see it then. Active partners are those who are directly involved in running the business. You may even have a limited partner who is also running the business. In that case, an active partner. All right. So directly running the business, any such partner involved in the business is called what? An active partner. Those are the ones that make key decisions about the business success. All right. Then you have limited partner. A limited partner is the one who provides financial investment but has limited liability on management and no management role. Okay. Yes, most times they don't have management role, but in rare cases they may have one who may be appointed to become what? A managing partner or be part of the active partners. So, but in general, they're not supposed to be involved in management role. Okay, in a rare case they might be involved. So, limited partners are the ones that invest their money and have limited liability on their capital investment on the business. Okay, these are the 5 types of partners we have discussed. So let's look at it. What's the difference between an active partner and a general partner, like I mentioned earlier? The key difference between the two are that the general partner, the general partner lies in the liability and role within the partnership. Now, an active partner is involved in the daily operations and decision making of the business, but they can be either a general partner or a limited partner, depending on their liability status. Now, a general partner, however, must take on limited liability, meaning they are personally responsible for the business's debts and obligation. Now, every general partner is an active partner, but not all active partners are general partners. You understand? So yes. Now, essentially, active partners, active describe the level of involvement, while general refers to liability and authority in a partnership structure. So when you say active, it means that the person is involved in management of the business and run the business. When we talk about general, it has to do with the level of liability and authority in a partnership structure. So yes, this is a key difference between an active partner and a general partner. Take it now, all right? So a partnership deed is the next item we have on our plate. What's a partnership deed? It is known also as a partnership agreement. You could see it as a partnership agreement. You could see it as a partner or articles of partnership or a partnership contract. Any of these names can be used at any time to represent this document that we're talking about here. A partnership deed, a partnership agreement, article of partnership, and as well as partnership contract. So any of these four names can be used interchangeably to mean the same thing in a partnership business. So this is a document containing the agreement made by partners, all right? The rules and regulations guiding the partnership of the business, all right? So anything that concerns the business activity that is agreed upon is put down in this document that serves as a record or reference point for how the partnership should run, okay? So that's a document that contains that. So it's called a partnership deed, partnership agreement, partnership contract, or article of partnership. So these are the things that you find in that document, the contents of a partnership agreement. What you find is that there must be in that book the name of the partners, because if it's not there, who are you going to talk about? The names must appear in the partnership agreement or contract or deed, right? The full name of the firm must be stated there, all right? John Holtz Limited, of course, so you can have it there. The nature of the business formed, all right? What are they out to do? What is it? Is it production? Is it service based? Is it extractive? So the nature of the business must be stated, okay? Then the rights and duties of each partner must be also said. What rights do we have? Are you a limited partner? Are you a general partner? Are you an active partner? Are you a sleeping partner? All right, so that also will be stated there, okay? The proportion of which capital is to be provided and whether interest should be paid on capital or not. Each partner will contribute capital. Who contributes what? What volume of capital will you bring in? Right? What's the volume of contribution to the business? It will be stated there. Right? The signatories of the check of the business will also be appeared there. How many people, the cashier, the accountant, the whoever also is supposed to be a signatory to the check or the account of the business will be stated in such a document for clarity. Then sharing of profit as well and provision of drawings. All right, so how is profit going to be shared? How is the procedure for withdrawals in the account? Who and who should be involved in withdrawing money from the account? What proportion, all right? So the procedure, the provision for withdrawing money is also stated there, and who are those are to be signed to those accounts details. Then you have duration of the partnership. It will tell you the length of time the partnership will exist. Is it 10 years, 1 year, 5 months, whatever? So it will be stated there, all right? Then the payment of partner salary, where partnership needs to receive salary, it will be stated there, all right? Partners who earn salaries, it will be noted there so that every other person who comes in and lays hand on that document will have an idea of what the partners did is all about. So those who earn salaries, their names will be in that document so that you will see them clearly. The method of admission of a new partner is also be stated there. Is it that when a new partner comes, it will be readjusted, okay, or the deed will be rewritten, or the person will come and align with what's already on ground. So it will be stated there, all right? And how much they need to pay to come in as a new partner will also be stated there. So how a new partner comes in to join the existing one will also be in that partnership deed. Okay, then you have the objective of the firm, what the firm wants to achieve by coming together. All right, is it to increase profit for each person? Is it to expand knowledge? Is it to affect your life somewhere? Well, whatever the purpose is, it will be stated there as an objective. So you will know that, okay, this is what the company is chasing or is aiming at to achieve. So yes, these are the contents of the partnership deed. Even not so much, I think there'll be more things, but these are the ones we can teach you right now. Okay, so how do they get money for their business? How do they run their business? How do they get funds to run the business? Okay, so partners or partnership business can access funds through what we call the clawback profits, or you can call it retained profit or earnings. The proportion of the profit that was not shared among partners but reinvested into the business can serve as a source of finance or fund for the business, meaning it's actually reinvested its profit. So that serves as a source of fund to increase business funding. Then number two is a personal contribution to the partners. As a partner comes in or as they form a partnership business, each partner brings in funding or capital, all right, to the business. That actually is one of the means through which they can raise money to finance the business activities of the partnership existence. So partners' contribution at any point in time, whether they are bringing a new partner or the existing ones, have also contributed money to the business for its smooth running. So that's one of the source of funds. Then you have trade credit. This is a normal thing that we know. Trade credit is what? Is a source of fund through which items, raw materials, or services are rendered to a business right now and payment to be made in a later date, agreed date. So you don't pay for items, you get advantage of having it to use it before payment is made. So in such a case, for those who enjoy such a privileges, all right, or opportunities, have also sourced for fund through them, because those services would have been paid for or raw materials would have been paid for before you can acquire them. But right now, or right then, it was given out to the person for not for immediate payment, but for payment in advance. All right. So yes, that means the money will be paid when it's available. But right now, you can have access to the goods or services until you're able to pay as agreed. So that's a form of what funding, because without that, whether that's made available, okay, you won't be able to access such product or service. That's a sort of fund. Then that makes it easier for you to run your business because you have access to what you need to run your business without having to pay for it immediately. Then you have admission of a new partner. Of course, in this case, when partners join up to a business, okay, they make up what? Additional source of funding for the business, because anyone that comes in, we actually bring in capital one way or the other to assist what's already on ground. So that brings in what? More money too for the business. So loans and overdraft. Most times, these companies can actually access money through loans or overdraft from the banks because of the name and pedigree of the business and maybe the goodwill of the business. They can actually get loans easily from the bank if the bank sees it that way, all right, and is confident enough for them to have such. They can take loans or they can have overdraft because, of course, with their business account, if with regular inflow and outflow of money, they can actually access you loan or overdraft. So yes, that could also serve as a source of fund to a partnership business. There are many other ones, okay. You can actually get subsidy from the government if they need be. They can get grants, they can get gifts from family and friends, okay. They can actually get donations from well-meaning establishments, many other places, okay. They can actually do that, right? They can take lease of equipment to run their business. So many other ways they can do that, but on record, we have this 5, okay. So let's look at the positive side of the business partnership. We're talking about the advantages here right now. So what are the advantages of a partnership business? Okay, we look at it this way. Sufficient capital. Of course, this particular item here as an advantage is when you compare it to the sole proprietorship business, it has sufficient capital to operate much more than the sole proprietorship business. So in this case, our partnership business has a more sufficient capital to run than the sole proprietorship business. Now, also there is an increase in production compared to the sole proprietorship business because you have more hands, more capital than the sole proprietorship business. They can actually do better in terms of production and distribution. So there's increase in production for a partnership business when compared to the sole proprietorship business. There's a joint decision making. In this case, like we say, two good heads are better than one. No matter how good your head is as one person, you have two persons who know as much as you do, they can make better decisions than you. Right? So that's it. You have two or more persons coming together to make better decisions than one man running a business on his own. Okay, then there is privacy. Whatever happens in the business is not of public interest. They are not supposed to make it public because it's a private business, so they leave it private. Yes, so their privacy is guaranteed. So they enjoy this as an advantage because they don't have to tell the government or tell the public, we have made this much profit or made this much loss, we're having these challenges or that, so it's private. So that's one of the advantages of partnership business. They will have better chance of continuity because of the kind of partnership that they have. They can have agreements that can make the business live longer than a partner, the sole partnership business, because the case of a sole trader, when the owner dies or is sick or has any issue, the business suffers as well. Okay, but in the case of a partnership business, if the partner has an issue, most likely the business will continue. All right, so it has a better chance of survival than the sole proprietorship business. So there's a chance of continuity compared to the sole trader. So yes, because they have more members, more partners, they can actually sustain the business much better than in terms of finance too. They have more capital to sustain the business than a sole trader. So that gives them more opportunity to stay longer than the other one. Then better management, like I mentioned earlier on, when you have joint decision making that is good enough, that means you can actually extract better management activities from them than the sole trader. So yes, in this case, the partnership business has an advanced better management system than the sole trader's business. Okay, yes. Then sharing of risk. In this case, if the business collapses, not one person will suffer everything. All right, you have to share the risks or liabilities in the business to the available partners. So that's what, depending on what is contained in the deed of partnership. Okay, so yes, but they have risks and liability sharing opportunities for the business to exist and run better. So yes, but when you're a sole trader, if the risks are too much, he loses business, he might even suffer more loss than the business provides. So yes, these are the advantages. Then disadvantages of partnership business include the following. So partnership business has unlimited liability because of what it has. It's not registered as a legal entity. So the business is still the same thing as its owner. The owner and the business are one. So the business is owing a debt and it collapses. All the general partners are liable for the liabilities and debt of business. So they have to pay to the last kobo. All right. That's why it's a disadvantage. Then they have limited growth. If you look at the partnership business and compare it to a joint stock company, they can progress much more compared to the joint stock company because they have less people or maybe less capacity in terms of finance or capital from the partners. These are people who are trying to just stay up and afloat the business, who have come together to own something. But they say joint stock company are people with huge amount of money. All right, they can even raise much more money, 10 times over, if not more, than the partnership. So in this case, partnership growth will not be as quick or advanced compared to the joint stock business. So business is not a legal entity. So I've already mentioned it. Because of that, the business and the owner are one. All right. What happens is that if the owner is having a challenge, of course it will affect the what? It will affect the business itself. And because of that, it will be a problem for the business. So it doesn't have to help the business in most cases to continue successfully. So If any partner withdraws, most likely they will have to end the partnership or readjust it to a different structure and strata. So that also is a problem. It alters the business stride to success. So that's why it is like that. Then disagreement between partners can end the business. A constant quarrel, conflict of ideas, right, can actually bring the business to an end, because some of the partners will feel that their ideas don't count and they feel bad. So because of them, they want to withdraw. And when they withdraw, surely the business will end. So that's a disadvantage. A constant disagreement among partners can actually end the business existence. And risk of dissolution adds because the business is not separated from the owner. It's not a legal entity, right? Whatever happens to the business, anything I mentioned so far, can actually bring the business to an end. It's most likely to end abruptly than the joint stock company, all right? Because in this case, it is not incorporated, it's not a legal entity. So because of that, every small issue can bring an end to the business. Just ordinary quarrel between partners can end the business. One partner become ill can end the business. One partner withdraws can end the business. Or when the time elapses before time, in fact, they have time lag, all right? So when the time elapses before time, the court order can also end the business quickly. So a lot of things can actually make the business to go down. So there's a risk of dissolution at the tip of the finger for a partnership business, all right, compared to the joint stock companies. So what I've been mentioning dissolution of partnership since, what does it mean? This is the coming to an end of a partnership agreement, okay? It is the winding up or liquidation of a partnership business. Whenever they said it is over with this business, we want to bring it to an end and close it down, it's called what? Dissolution of partnership. So that becomes the end of that business by that particular act. So yes, that's what it means. So the factors that can lead to partnership dissolution. These are the factors that can end the business. I already mentioned some before, like I mentioned earlier, when the time of the business expires, all right? When the expiration of the partnership agreement is, activated, then it becomes an end. Then the death of or insanity of a partner can end the business as well, because the partnership is same as what? The owner, okay? Notice of retirement of a partner can end the business. Joint decision of the partners that has mutual agreement, okay, can bring it to an end. Then you have insolvency of the business. That is when they lack funds to meet immediate debts. They lack liquidity. They don't have immediate cash, money to settle immediate needs. Can also end the business. Then court order can end it. Like I mentioned, bankruptcy of the business. They cannot even raise money enough to meet business needs. Apart from having physical cash, they cannot raise money enough to enter business deals. All right, that also is a reason they can actually come to an end by that particular reason. So thank you for your time. So let's look at some questions that will help us understand better with this topic. We'll answer questions that relate to us directly. So partners who allow their names to be used in a partnership business but do not take part in the management of business are called what? They are called nominal partners. Which of the following business must have at least member with unlimited liability? That's limited partnership. The distribution of profits based upon patronage, we didn't discuss this. That's another day. So Oconee and Co. Law Chambers is an example of a partnership business. Okay. Then the relationship between partners is stipulated in the partnership deed or partners of deed, article of association, certificate of incorporation, partners of deed, article of association, memorandum of association. Okay, so this is not properly stated, but it's partners deed of partnership. Okay, so a person who contributes money to a partnership business is also involved in the general supervision is called an active partner. An active partner. Dormant partner is one who does not work hard, lends his name, has limited liability, does not partake in running the business. The dormant partner does not partake in running the business, okay? That's the answer. Then, which of the following is not a condition for dissolution of a partnership business? Is it continuous disagreement? Is it expiration? Is it mutual consent of the partners, or is it termination of the venture? Which of these is not a condition? Expiration of business here is not a condition. It's not expiration of the partnership time, no. They might have 10 years to exist, and one of the years counted by is a business year, so it's not business year. So the answer is what? Is B. Which of the following does not lead to dissolution of partnership? Absence of deed of partnership, withdrawal of a partner, incapacity of any partner, completion of the contractual term. So A is our answer. And the last one, let's look at the last question here. Where a limited partner exists in a partnership, no active partner, other partners must be normal, at least one ordinary partner must be involved. Thank you very much. Have a time. Let's meet again next time in the next video. Thank you very much. God bless you.